cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's time again to cherish all the time you spend, you tuned in to. It's the number one podcast. The topics of discussion when we broadcast. So all them artificial man jokes, we do it natural from the concrete to a public standpoint. Real, wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen. Wherever you're from, life is coexisting, but to know the real, you just gotta listen.
What up, everybody, and welcome to the 52 Scott Podcast. This is For Women Wednesday. I'm your host, Freddie G, joined by my co-host, K Money, Slash, and Comedian 96. Collectively, we are the Mind of Men. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast. On Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to like and subscribe. And welcome to another Women Wednesday. Okay, today's episode was inspired by an article I read. The article was about two Olympic stars, Sha'Carri Richardson and her boyfriend, Christian Coleman. The two of them had an altercation in an airport, which led to Sha'Carri being arrested. Now I'm going to paraphrase the article I read. The surveillance camera showed her grabbing his bag, getting in his face, pushing him against the wall, and he tried to walk away from her. And then she threw something at him. By the time the police arrived, she was gone. He talked to the police and he told her that, hey, that's my girlfriend. And he didn't want to press charges. The police viewed the surveillance cameras and determined there was enough probable cause to arrest her on suspicion of 4th-degree domestic violent assault. Eventually, the case was cleared. Now later on, her boyfriend was interviewed and he said this: "I don't feel like she should have been arrested. People have discussions and emotions and stuff like that. She's a human being and a great person. She has a lot of things going on, a lot of emotions and forces going on inside of her. Not only that I can understand, nobody else can understand it." Now, with that being said, man, I heard that quote. I read that after reading that quote, I thought to myself, man, that's trauma bonding. Now, let me ask you fellas, have y'all ever heard of trauma bonding? And if not, what do y'all think trauma bonding is?
No, I've never heard of that term, bro, but what you just described definitely I think is the perfect name for it, if there is a such name.
So is it like bonding from a trauma type of thing going on, relationship, or just any kind of trauma to somebody and you bond from that?
It's just like I think females that get beat
and they bond with the dude.
And they don't want to leave.
Get away from the dude.
Yeah. Okay. One thing you did leave out was she actually hit him. I saw that part. They kept showing that part. She hit him once. You didn't say, but I've heard of trauma bonding. Don't know exactly what it means.
Okay, so let me share the definition of trauma bonding. Trauma bonding refers to a strong emotional attachment that can develop into an abusive relationship. This bond is often created through a cycle of abuse where the abuser alternates between harmful behavior and moments of affection and kindness.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier females getting beat, but it could go both ways. So in a physical abusive relationship, they won't leave it because of this very thing.
Yeah, this one touched me in so many ways because, number one, I know that Sha'Carri Richards and the dude, they both got dual sponsorships. So I don't know if it's the trauma bonding or he don't want to lose his contracts or sponsorships that he has. I don't know, but I kind of feel like he's scared at the same time. It's like law enforcement didn't do their job because Chris Brown was driving. He was driving.
Yeah.
And pretty much lost. He had to work back up to where he is now.
When did this happen?
This, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, this happened about 2 weeks ago.
About 2 weeks ago.
Maybe 2-3 weeks ago.
Yeah, so nothing's happening. They didn't lose anything. She didn't lose anything. And it just pretty much swept under the rug because it just lasted for a day or two and then was gone. That's it.
Well, I have a problem with his statement or his quote, to be honest with you, bro, because he's justifying her actions, which ain't no motherfucking way a grown person should be acting this way out in public. You can't justify that.
You can't.
We all got shit going on, you know what I'm saying? But there's a time and a place, and if they out in a public place, they're both celebrities, known celebrities.
Yeah.
You know you have that limelight, so there's no way you should be acting in this manner, right?
But here's the thing: you've heard of Sha'Carri Richards.
Yeah, I mean,
you've heard of her, but you haven't heard of the dude.
Yeah, she have. I have.
What?
He's
the guy?
Yeah, Christian Coleman. Let me tell you, man.
I don't know what he's done.
Christian Coleman. He's an Olympic gold medalist.
Mm-hmm.
He runs the 100. He's a part of the 4x1. He's the scratch guy. He's the first leg. He comes out the blocks like no other.
You know that. So did any of us know that?
Yeah.
You knew that too?
Yeah.
Oh, you knew that about him? I didn't either. See, so
That's 50-50.
It's 50-50. Everybody on this panel know who Sha'Carri Richards is.
But there's a track community that knows who he is.
Yeah, it's a track community. But the world knows Sha'Carri way more than they know him.
Okay, I get
That's what I'm trying to say.
I got you.
So in his eyes, and I know it's kind of messed up, man, I don't want to lose my sponsorship. I don't want to lose. If I tell on this girl, I'm finna lose everything along with her.
She was arrested. Him telling on her ain't gonna fuck with him.
But if you notice, nobody dropped her. No one dropped her. No Gatorade. None of the
that we know of.
That
we know of.
Oh, it would have been announced quickly if it happened. Oh, it would have been. Oh, they dropped her from Gatorade.
So you saying had anything happened to her, it would have affected his sponsorship?
Yeah, because they have dual sponsorship together.
I got what you're saying.
They have dual sponsorships together.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
Wait. You're saying, let's use Gatorade for an example.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if neither one of them are sponsored by Gatorade.
Yeah, I don't know who exactly.
But I just want to use Gatorade for an example. You're saying that they have dual sponsorship together, meaning that Gatorade say, hey, I want to sponsor you, Sha'Carri, but I'm not going to sponsor you without Christian. Or Christian, I want to sponsor you, but I'm not going to sponsor you without Sha'Carri. So in order for us to sponsor y'all have to be together.
It was no. They have some dual, and I guess it's probably one of their biggest clients or contracts. They have some. I don't know which ones, but they do have some. He just
used it as an example, but I get what he's what Freddie G trying to say.
Yeah,
it's a package deal.
It was a package deal the way they signed it. They've been together 2 years.
So the people signed them as a package deal, and now they can both lose.
That's what I'm saying.
So let me say this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you're wrong.
Uh-huh.
I'm not saying you're wrong, but let me say this. I can say that I have seen commercials with Sha'Carri Richardson, and it's usually around Olympic time. That's usually when you'll see the commercials. Now, I know that all of these athletes have endorsements. Now, I don't know if Christian Coleman have sponsorship deals with all of these big names. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But I've never seen them. If there is a dual sponsorship together, I've never seen them in a commercial together.
I haven't either.
And so
I would even know who he was.
I would think that if Nike is going to sponsor somebody, using Nike for an example, they'll just sponsor that person. Right. Because what if you got a dual sponsorship and this person gets ill and can no longer run track anymore?
You can't use them no more.
But we're tied together.
Yeah,
do that person still get the money?
It don't.
You know,
it kind of don't make sense.
Yeah, it don't.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like
that doesn't sound like
I can understand why. Because they're a relationship, but
yeah, that don't mean I want both of y'all.
Yeah, I can see
because you're not
separate
both
contracts
are not gonna make my company better. It only take one to look good.
Okay, so that's what it is. They're both sponsored by Nike.
Yeah,
so
but
that's probably one of their biggest contracts together.
That's not
they're
together.
not together.
Yeah.
It says both.
Listen,
But that
They
don't
both
mean it's
signed
together.
to
Nike
But not as
sponsors
a unit.
So let me ask you this here, man. Think about a basketball star that's signed to Nike. Is he in a duel with them? Think about a football star that's signed to Nike.
Yeah.
Is they duel with them? They're not together.
I think-
they're just separate
I
individuals.
think
like a record company.
They're separate. I think they just both have endorsements by
by
Nike.
Nike.
Yeah, by other similar companies.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
it
just
shouldn't
says
affect
both. It
them.
said both Shikari
I've never
and
heard of a
Christian
duel.
are sponsored by Nike,
Yeah.
making them a powerful couple within the track and
They're
field
sponsored
community.
by Nike.
Yeah, I don't know.
That mean Nike giving them the shoes, the track wear, the
Yeah.
gym clothes, or whatever, the bags and
Well,
whatever.
think about it. Just say they dropped Shikari.
Shikari.
They was gonna drop him.
Nah,
Nah.
you can't say that. You
Why
can't
not?
say that.
Nah, you can't say that.
She was the one that was found in the wrong.
It
not
was
him.
an altercation that made, and Nike would just say, "You just made us look bad."
And based
That
on
ain't-
the investigation,
It's-
she was the one that was in the wrong.
She was the one in the wrong.
So why would he have
but
to suffer?
he probably would have got the tail end of that as well.
Come on, bro.
Man, where you get that
I
from?
don't know.
You
I
don't
think
think
they.
so?
I
Yeah,
think
no.
it goes more towards the person who was at fault.
Yeah.
When that happens,
Yeah.
you lose those
you lose
endorsements,
endorsements.
when you at fault.
I can't
So-
see him suffering.
Yeah, so
He
let
shouldn't.
me ask y'all this. In your opinion, what gender is more apt to be victim of trauma bonding? The key word is victim. What gender is more apt? Is it the male gender or the female gender?
Female
I
gender.
would say the female gender.
Yeah, female.
Okay, so do I. I think the female gender too. And do y'all know why? Why would you say the female gender?
Well, I feel like females have dealt with more abuse than the male gender, and they've adjusted to the abuse so much so to where they've gotten accustomed to it.
Yeah, it's been going on for years, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because you got to remember back, early ages when we weren't around, there were women just housewives, and the men would go out and work. And I've seen several TV shows from back in the day where they would depict the man, doing something to the wife, and the wife, because she's not working, she's afraid to leave because she's afraid to be on her own because she can't do the things that he's doing for her on her own. So I think they're more subject to that because of the way history has been,
Okay, so now I agree. I agree that women are will be more apt to be victims of trauma bonding. They're more apt to stay in it, and then they fit the definition of trauma bonding. But if you had to put a percentage out of 100%, I want each one of y'all to give me a percentage that y'all believe women are more victim of trauma bonding versus men.
80 to 20.
So you're saying 80% of the women are more apt to be victims, and 20% of men are more apt to be victims.
Yeah.
What do you think, K Money?
I say 85-15.
85-15? What do you say, Comedian 96?
I say a 70-30, especially these days. A little bit more with the men now, because so much happened to us as men now that we just probably not remembering. You know what I'm saying? Girls trying to make you lose your job, all kinds of stuff, and you still going back with her, even though she done made you lost everything. You still just your different.
you do that?
You think that percentage has gone up in men?
Huh?
You think that percentage of
I believe it was 80-20 or 90-10 at one point, but as time went on,
You think it's
and
increasing for the men?
these girls start acting like men, it went 70-30.
Okay, so actually I believe like 60-40.
Yeah, I was going there too. I wanted to say
60
that.
women, 40
Yeah,
men.
I wanted to say that at first.
you didn't, so shut up.
That's trauma.
Okay, so now we all agree that women are more apt to be victims of trauma bonding. Well, when it comes to male victims, what race do y'all think experience trauma bonding the most? I'm gonna say it again. When it comes to male victims, What race do y'all think experience trauma bonding the most? Do y'all think it's the black man?
Yes.
The Hispanic man? The white man? Or the Asian man? And why?
I say black man, and that's due to the attitude of a black woman, you know, and the beliefs of a black woman. I think we as black men deal with more traumatizing situations with a black woman than any other culture.
Yeah, these black women are creative. I agree with Slash.
Yeah, unfortunately,
blacks.
I'm saying unfortunately, but yeah, black women can be strong-minded, you know, and can and will cut you with their mouthpiece. So I'm gonna have to say, agree with the fellas and say, black man.
Okay, and I'm in agreement. Now, here's my opinion. Not including interracial relationships, I believe black men are more victimized by black women, and I believe black women are more confrontational toward their men, more so than women of other races.
Yeah.
I believe Hispanics are second.
Yeah.
I believe whites are third. And I believe Asians are fourth. Now, in a weird kind of way, I believe one of the reasons why black women are more confrontational toward their men is because our race is the only race that's not connected to their true culture, which makes African American women more different than the other races, if that makes sense to you.
It does. Well,
Now-
Latinos fall up in there.
Well, this is my opinion. I told
okay.
you Latinos come second.
Oh, okay, all right, my bad.
I said
I must
black
have been in my
men,
comedian 96 zone.
Latinos, white men, and Asians.
Okay.
I agree
Now-
with that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, now,
yeah.
And because black women are not connected to their culture, not to mention, I believe that religious practice play a part as well. But it's not black women's fault. I believe the black race as a whole has been brainwashed. Now, I mean,
How long? I was agreeing with you until you mentioned brainwash, because I need you to kind of
okay, so
explain who.
brainwash.
Well, yeah, in this aspect.
Okay, so in a weird kind of way, right? I believe that black women are more disconnected from our culture, from their culture, meaning us, black, than other races. I believe Asian women are more connected to their culture.
Okay.
Hispanic.
I believe Hispanics are more connected to their culture.
I'm agreeing
I
with
believe
you.
whites are more connected to their culture, right? Now, because they're more connected to their culture, and I'm using submissive as an example, I think that those people in those cultures, they're more submissive in regards to their roles and all of that.
I'm agreeing
When
with
it comes to now, because African American women, notice I said African American women and not African women.
Right.
They starting to get bad though.
African American women, they're not connected to the African culture, and because they're not connected to the African culture, then that makes them probably a little distant when it comes to.
I got you.
Now, on the flip side, they could go for us too.
Yeah.
That can go for us too now.
I can see it.
But I believe that the black man is more apt to be victim of trauma bonding, followed by the Hispanic, followed by the white, excuse me, and then followed by the Asian. So now here's the $1 million question. Why do men put up with or allow themselves to become victims of trauma bonding? And don't tell me it's the pussy.
No.
You know what? I think some of them don't realize it. I think they just
That's
may
a
be
good
blind to the fact. You know,
That's a
they
good
just
point.
don't realize that they being traumatized.
I just think that they like, man, this girl crazy as hell, but I'm gonna try to make this work and don't want to leave a relationship. That's what I think.
And I
They
think
could just complacent, don't want to move, don't want to leave.
I think a lot of them, not all, but a lot may be afraid of the system. You know, knowing that the system is not for, or it's more for the female than it is the male.
Right.
9 times out of 10, when police are called, it's the male that's getting taken away.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be that way. Even though now, from what I understand, you know, if it's a domestic issue, they both possibly can be arrested. So,
Well, I just mentioned the article where they viewed the camera, and Shakira was arrested,
Yeah.
but the camera showed her
being more
physically
more of the aggressor.
Yeah. The dude was ducking and dodging, and she was swinging.
right. So
And
I mean,
stinging.
that I can understand why she got arrested. But had he retaliated and possibly threw a punch at her,
Yeah, he'd have been
Yeah,
gone.
all he had to do was push it.
Yeah.
All he had to do was push it. It would have been a wrap for him too.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I still believe. Again, it is the trauma bonding. I think it's part of that, but I think a part of that also had to deal with.
Why do men put up with it?
Yeah.
Why?
And the reason why he put up with that is because I think it was more of a money thing, losing contracts or one of these sponsorships.
Okay,
and they
Well,
don't
that's in that scenario.
Remove that scenario. Take 2 broke motherfuckers
Yeah,
together.
they ain't got no goddamn contract.
yeah, he ain't got. Then she out of there. Then then
The question is,
why we deal with it?
why do men put up with it and or allow themselves to be victim of trauma bonding? And don't tell me it's because of the pussy.
No, I'm just saying. I told you most men want to keep their relationships. They don't want to.
Why? Tell me why.
Why?
Why do you
Why
put
they
up with?
putting
Why
up
do
with it
we
though?
put
Why-
up with it?
They want to keep it, so they putting up with it just because they want their relationship.
They want the relationship to work. They be like, but maybe she'll change. You know, niggas be always. Well, I know I done it before. Maybe she'll stop. Maybe she'll change.
Tires getting slashed every week.
Yeah, every week you got new tires to go get.
I think some guys don't know they work. You know,
that's a good one.
And I don't think they understand what their worth is because, like you say, culturally, we're not connected to our culture because black men are kings, bro, and some of us don't act like.
But
that.
you ever
They're
been
not
with,
acting as such, then you can't expect.
you know,
you ever been with a girl, man? I really like this motherfucker. Why she's so crazy, man? If you could just stop being crazy, we can work. I know we done been in a all been in a relationship like that. If you weren't so crazy, you don't have to be crazy.
That's the male individual has the say at the end of the day if you're gonna be with something dumb, and when you're not realizing it, you don't see it, you blind.
Yeah,
and that's the male's problem now.
But
he
you
need to correct that.
Yeah, you living on the hopes that she might change.
Yeah, because she ain't gonna change.
She ain't gonna change.
You're looking at what she is. She's showing you who
like
she are.
everything, she might meet 90% of everything else, but that 10% of crazy,
yeah, it doesn't go away.
Yeah, it's like it's the mountain of. If you can let that 10% go, this will be a perfect relationship. But she don't want to let that 10%, and it overtakes the 90 that she does good. So yeah, that's what it is. It's like, man, maybe I can just get this little piece to go away, and then she'll be the perfect girl.
You know what's caused that crazy though, right?
What's that?
And even though we can't use the pussy as why we take it, the dick is what's drove them crazy.
So it's called digmatized.
Yeah, it is.
Here's why I believe a lot of black men allow themselves to be victim of trauma bonding or put up with it. I believe that this doesn't apply to us four, and I know y'all personally, so this doesn't apply to us, right? But I believe that a reason why a lot of black men put up with trauma bonding is because they can't take care of their basic needs. And they need a woman to take care of their basic business, like filling out documents, like for hospitals and taking care of apartment stuff or whatever, filling out and taking care of their basic needs. A lot of black men can't do that. So, and in addition, a lot of guys can't communicate professional, whether it be in person or over the phone. They need a woman to, hey, can you call him for me? Can you do this for me? Can you do that for me? Can you do that? And so what happens is that when you're relying on a woman to take care of your basic needs and your basic business, in return, you are unknowingly accepting the trauma bonding.
Yeah.
Because you know that if it breaks up, she not gonna take care of, she usually be the one who call the people for me, or she usually be the one to fill out the paperwork. And now you know that, goddamn, if we ain't together no more, I don't know how to fill out this paperwork. And a lot of black men will accept that trauma bonding, but they unknowingly, not knowing that they're a part of trauma bonding. K-Money, I'm looking at you, your facial expression.
Yeah, man.
You should see my facial expression. Go ahead.
On previous shows, we've gotten the women in regards to how they try to be our moms or mothers, and here it sounds like, hell, if a man is dealing with trauma bonding, he needs a mom, or he needs that female to act like a mother to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and that's the thing, though.
So is he really a man?
Check it out. Two things can be true. What we're discussing now and what we've discussed on past shows.
Yeah.
So when it is in a weird kind of way, it's jacked up.
It is.
But
it sounds jacked
we all know a guy.
Yeah.
They can't go in there and talk to the people, man, and tell them what you need.
Don't know how to talk.
You hit home on that one because both my brothers that passed were the same way, and they had some crazy girlfriends, both of them. Their girlfriends before they passed.
That hit the nail on the head with
and they would do all the business.
Yeah, you can't take care of your basic business.
Yeah,
and there's a lot of men that can do that. So, man, I'm finna bring it to a close now. With that being said, man, trauma bonding can cause PTSD, and PTSD can cause a person to snap. And if a person snaps, the end result to trauma can be deadly drama. This concludes another dope episode. Tune in tomorrow for Think Thursday. Don't forget to follow us on X, formerly known as Twitter, at 52 Scott Podcast, on Instagram and Facebook, the 52 Scott Podcast. And for all my YouTubers, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember, the only way we grow is if you let them know.